Iran took revenge for the U.S. strike that killed Qasem Soleimani by firing missiles into Iraq. And guess what? It was the best possible outcome that we could have ever hoped for. People on the right and the left have gone crazy last night. I'll explain in a minute. President Trump has the Iranians now exactly where they need to be. But there are forces both inside and outside of our country that could really screw all of this up. This is one of those times that I really hope the president is watching. Share this message with as many people as you can, because I think this is a different message than you're hearing anywhere else. I cannot overstate how important what the president did in the last 10 days is. We all know that Iran is a bad place. I've been talking about Iran as the head of the snake for 25 years. Finally, a president has done it right. We all knew that Iran would respond. The question was, how? Going by their history, I assumed they wouldn't risk attacking us with their conventional military. Wouldn't happen. Their go-to is the proxy forces and terror cells that they have. But this time, last night, surprised everybody. They broke precedent. Iran dubbed it Operation Martyr Soleimani. By about 7 p.m. Eastern time, everybody in the media were claiming multiple bases inside Iraq were being bombarded. At one point, some were claiming that as many as 35 missiles hit one single base. 3 bases that house U.S. military personnel in total were reported taking fire. At the time, it sounded like World War III was breaking loose. But then what really happened began to come out. Iran's big revenge turned out to be 15 missiles in total. 10 hit the Al-Saad military base. 1 landed in Erbil, and 4 others were duds. Iran has a stockpile of precision-guided cruise missiles, but they didn't use them for this attack. Why? Once you heard that they were using ballistic missiles, that should have been your tip-off. They're deadly, but far less effective. And we can shoot ballistic missiles out of the sky fairly easy. But it's not so easy to shoot cruise missiles out of the sky. 11 total missiles hit their mark. So what was the price for Iran's revenge over the death of their most revered military commander, number 2 in their power chain? A death so devastating to the regime that it actually made the Ayatollah cry in public. What was the price? 0 casualties, neither U.S. nor Iraqi, and minimal damage. And not only did they not use their most effective weapons, they didn't even target areas that had the most U.S. troop presence. This was a "please don't hurt us" letter. That big Iranian response that everybody feared, World War III, everybody's going to be drafted. Oh, pray for our country because Donald Trump is president, turned out to be a symbolic attack that was never meant to kill anyone. Now let me show you what Iran is capable of. This is the Iranian attack just a few months ago on the Saudi oil refinery. Drones and cruise missiles were used with impressive precision. Take note that the blast marks on each of the tanks, they're exactly the same spot on each one. If Iran wanted to, they could have done something similar last night to our troops. They could have flown multiple cruise missiles through the windows of where our troops were sleeping. But they didn't. Why? When the attack was over, the equivalent to their Secretary of State actually made this statement, and I won't quote this idiot directly because he's borderline the equivalent of Baghdad Bob, but notice a few key words here. He said that they had concluded proportionate measures. They don't seek escalation. So let me translate. We're done. It's over. Please don't turn our country into glass. We're done. Iran is not the Iran that it was under Obama, and we are not America that we were under Obama. They have no clue what Trump might do. What they did know is if they killed any Americans, he held restraint. It's a drone. It's not worth doing. It's not worth killing people over a drone. It's not worth doing over lobbing a missile here or there. But they knew Donald Trump's line. His red line, don't cross it. Because if you kill an American, he will respond with fire and fury. So what did they do? They lobbed a few ineffectual missiles into the desert, hoping not to kill an American. Trump's message to Iran was clear: hurt or kill our people and reap the whirlwind. Deterrence has finally been reestablished in America, but not a nation-building deterrence that we've seen from the GOP in the past, and their cheerleaders were cheering on last night. Now, there are a few groups that could screw all of this up. As I said earlier, they exist in both countries, and they're both, in their own way, hardliners chasing an agenda. And I truly hope the president is being briefed on how to deal with both of them, because he can't allow himself to be goaded. First, the hardliners in Iran. This attack is not going to satisfy them. The Ayatollah, the mullahs, the IRGC, the Quds, they know that this was symbolic. They know that no matter how many lies they tell their people, this attack did nothing. All they know is that the United States killed their most famous battle commander, and not one single American died in return. They won't let this slide. God forbid they may choose to attack at a later time. But they've been up to these same tricks since 1979, so nothing is changing. Remember, we didn't do anything, and they were attacking our embassy just last week. The president has Iran backed into a corner, and they are crumbling. And all he has to do now is stay the course and help the people of Iran. Remain vigilant. Remain on watch for terror attacks from the hardliners, because I believe they will come. But economic sanctions and political moves in places like Iraq are bringing this regime to its knees.